Hello, welcome to another edition of Inside Email Stack. This week we have made a big decision to make Email Love Pro free. So we're going to talk about why we've done that and why we think it's the right move. And obviously we don't know if it's the right move yet, but we're going to explain our thinking behind it. So if you are unfamiliar with Email Love Pro, it is the paid version of emaillove.com. So we basically spent months creating a couple of different features for the website. One of them is a trend report, and actually I might as well just show my screen so that people can see exactly what I'm talking about. And let me just pull that up now. Okay, so here's Email Love, and then Email Love was originally just inspiration. So, you would come on here and you would see emails that I would manually upload. So it would actually be quite time consuming to take the email from Gmail, extract the HTML, and then, manually upload it to WordPress is what we use. And so that was the original website. And then the thinking behind Pro was we'll add these trend reports by category. So here's the apparel category. And you can see when brands are sending, like trending brands on the website, tools that they're using, send time, creative things like if they're using responsive design or dark mode or animation, deliverability stats. And we did this for categories as well as for an actual, like each brand as well. So you can come to a brand's page, you can click on brand insights, and you can see that information for each brand as well. So that was really what Email Love Pro is, along with Journeys. Journeys is one thing that we also have where you can see, we make purchases and you can see all the transactional emails, all the cart abandons. Basically, the idea is to show you the full life cycle journey for brands. And so we bundled all of this up, we gated it, and we originally charged $99 per month for this, which the thinking was, milled mail charts, they cost around that much. And so we kind of anchored our pricing to them. And we got a few customers,
yeah,
but not many. And so we dropped the price to $19 per month. We got a few more customers, but still only a handful. And that kind of brings us to today, where we've now dropped it to $0 and kind of spent a lot of money building this thing and then tried charging for it, and now we just give it away for free. So
yeah.
What do you think, Matt?
Well, I think we are probably a little bit crazy, but I kind of like that. Not only did we not get any customers, we think it's also creating a bit of confusion as to people that are interested in just getting inspiration from the site and also our Figma plugin, right?
We also got people buying Email Love Pro thinking it's the Email Love Figma plugin.
Exactly.
Which is the other problem with it.
So I think it's a very cool product, a very cool tool, and people will get a lot of use out of it. But having this kind of two ways of paying for something on the site was creating confusion, because you can sign up for Pro and pay, and you can then go to the plugin and get pay for that as well. I think it just caused too much confusion, and kind of how the messaging was set up. So the two things that I think were the issue was that we didn't have a real wow part of the Pro. And I think today you need that, right? You need someone to go, oh my God, this is amazing. This is the best thing I need. Here's my money. I don't think we had that. not saying we couldn't get it, and we maybe can't get it in the future if we figure something out. And also there was some confusion with, I don't think we got the messaging and the UX right around creating the account and signing up and having the plugin there. And this was going to be a revenue stream for us, but I don't think we ever thought it was going to be massive, right? We're probably not thinking it's going to get, to $1 million ARR. Whereas the plugin 100% can get there and beyond. So distracting people from signing up for the plugin is more of a risk for me and more of a problem if that was generally the case.
Right. Like it would take us years to get to 10K MRR with Email Pro, or we could just give it away for free, grow the audience, like grow our people who are coming to the site. They love the site. Some of them use Figma, and we'll see the Figma plugin, and we're going to only benefit and grow the plugin revenue because of that.
Exactly. And also, it doesn't cost us a huge amount of money to run it. It does cost us some.
It does cost money.
It does cost us some, but it doesn't cost a huge amount of money. We don't really. It's not like a product where you have to keep developing that product.
It can run by itself. Like now that we've built it, it can kind of just run. We don't need to keep adding features to it. Whereas the plugin, every month
we have to keep adding. And today, what makes a really good product is one that is continually developed. So with insights and brands, we're updating the data based on the emails that we're getting, but we don't have to change the reports as much. It's there. So, and giving it away for free, it just fits really nicely actually into what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to build Email Love to be a place that people come for anything, for inspiration around email, to understand what's going on with email, to create collections, and also build a bit of a community around it. So to have that there is so attractive for people who might have traditionally actually paid for it, but also are paying for it somewhere else. That's quite a nice little thing.
Do we just kill mail charts? And
I mean, that would be quite nice.
I'd like to think that we did, but I don't.
I don't think we did, because I actually.
No offense to mail charts. Like I don't want to kill the company, but I'm just wondering what
mail charts is
broader impact. They're owned by Validity, so I don't think anyone's trying for them. But
it's a small part of a bigger thing, right? But I think we know that people are actually on annual contracts with mail charts, right? And others that do this. So they're not going to immediately just kind of cancel that, obviously. So I don't think we would have killed it, but I think we've given something to email marketers that maybe wouldn't pay normally. Now we've given them something, and I think that's really nice. It benefits them because they get something they would have normally paid, but also it's going to benefit us in the long run, right? Let's be honest, it's helping us as well increase the traffic, create goodwill, and then other products that we have, like the plugin, they'll be interested in those.
Yeah, the other revenue stream we have is sponsorship. So we do this today. You'll see Zero Bounce. Thank you, Zero Bounce, if you're watching. They sponsored the website this quarter. And so the idea is if we can get more traffic to the site, then we can probably make more money through sponsorship to help cover the costs of running the whole site, as well as maybe a little bit more, hopefully. And I think we can. I think sponsorship should actually be a decent revenue stream for us.
And if the kind of traffic to trends and insights starts increasing much more, we might have an option to just offer that sponsorship of that, maybe. Because if that's kind of where people are going, and for example, if they're seeing that the brand that they're following or they're interested in is using a certain tool or an ESP, that ESP or tool might want to sponsor there. Like there could be, or the other way around. If they're not using it, they want to sponsor. Like there could be something there. We don't know yet. We'll let that develop itself, right?
Could you sponsor your competitor's page? Could you? I don't feel good about that. Like, I'm going to go sponsor my.
Yeah, but if you're let's say you're a provider of countdown timers, you might want to sponsor the countdown timer page, right?
That's a good
I
idea.
don't know. It's just a thought that came into my head.
I think you know someone that might be interested in that.
Well, I don't countdown timers all my life for such a long time. Yeah, I think that increasing that traffic is what we want to do. And I'm not, yeah, just going back to the kind of the revenue stream part of it and what it takes. Like I'm not interested, and I know you're the same. We're not interested in waiting 3 years for 10K MRR. Like that's not what we're interested in. And actually, I don't think you should do that now. If you're building any kind of product that's trying to make money, if you're bootstrapping it, you need to think a bit quicker than that, just because of how quickly tools are being developed. Someone's just going to build a tool and surpass that easily. So yeah, that's not what we're interested in.
Yeah, I mean, starting out, I probably wouldn't have built this if I was starting out building it as a free tool, because it did cost a lot. Like this year, we spent a lot on the Email Love website, and we probably wouldn't do that if we were going to give it away, if we decided from the beginning to give it away for free. But I think long term, it might be actually a really good thing.
Yeah.
Like we won't know for probably another year, but I think, you know, this is how we get to 100,000 people visiting the site every month.
Yeah. And there is an option to add a paid version further down the line as well. What that would look like,
the infrastructure is still there. Like it's just like I've turned it off, but the whole payment processing and the gating can be turned on pretty easily.
If we could find that wow moment, like if there's something where they say, oh, if you just did this bit, then it'd be amazing, and we could do that bit, and that's what's paid for. That could be quite interesting. Off the top of my head, it could be something like getting access to the data or downloading some of the data that they can then manipulate, like a CSM manager or someone could manipulate. Like
or like an API or like a an AI MCP endpoint that you could like talk with the data, like
exactly.
Claude or something could be interesting. But
something like that might be a good thing.
Yeah, we just got to a point where we didn't want to put any more money into it, but it wasn't good enough for people to pay for.
Yeah, and actually, I felt almost like it was crossing over into causing more problems. Actually, when we're really focusing on growing the plugin as our main revenue stream, and a product that's really resonating well and is moving to the enterprise. Moving to the enterprise is a bit dramatic. Sorry, we are getting enterprise customers. I felt like it was distracting from that actually. So yeah, we could have easily spent. And what I really like about our decisions, we could have easily spent the next 12 months scratching our head about it, and maybe spending more money and doing that, and still maybe would have got to $1,000 MRR rather than 400.
Yeah, we just don't have time to do that.
No, and I like making that quick decision, and I think actually a lot of founders struggle with that, and that they let it go on and on.
I know. I mean, it probably looks a bit schizophrenic, like from people on like LinkedIn who are like, you know, I posted the other week like, we're at $400 MRR, and I was like, this is not working, and then, you know, this week I'm like, okay, screw it, it's free. Like it doesn't look great from the outside probably. I mean, people definitely love that post. Like that's like actually my best performing post possibly ever.
I disagree with that. They think that it doesn't look good from the outside. I think actually probably people like the decisiveness, and they like first of all, now it's free.
Yeah, I mean, they're not complaining about it.
But also the decisiveness of doing something, and I think, I don't know, I think people like that. I don't think people think that they might think we're mad, but I don't think that we're kind of all over the place, as it were, because it makes a lot of sense. So, and the feedback so far has been good, right? From your LinkedIn post yesterday.
It's been really good. We had a ton of comments. I also posted to Reddit, which actually is really good, to the email marketing Reddit, which I don't normally do, but this was like, hey, this is like a value add. This is like useful for you guys. And people, like, I'm always a little bit scared to post on Reddit because you get shit on for like promoting your stuff. But I can show you the post. It's actually just it's the same post I posted on LinkedIn, but just on Reddit, and it's got 11,000 people viewed it, 53 upvotes, 23 comments. Like, I've never had. I mean, that's not viral on Reddit, but like, it's pretty good for, it's good, and it's good comments as well. People are like, "Thank you, like this is great." I also have people saying like, "Oh, I love your newsletter. Like, I'm already subscribed. I
it's nice.
it."
Really nice. Have we seen any increase in accounts being created from that? Can you tell? Was it a bit early?
I had a problem with the Zapier connection to WordPress, so they're actually not being uploaded to the ESP right now, which I need to fix. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, we probably had like another 150 accounts created yesterday, from what I can tell. Be pretty close to 9,000 accounts on the website.
Yeah,
and that's like our main like way that we get email subscribers, because when you create an account, you subscribe to the newsletter. And obviously, like, we want to have 50,000 people with accounts on the website, and I think it's not going to be instant, but I think over time we'll get there.
Yeah.
The other option I was going to mention is we were considering is we spin off the plugin as its own brand. So we create a name for it, create a new website, redo all of the documentation, YouTube videos. That's another option. And then we could have had Email of focused on Pro, and then a separate brand for the plugin was the other option we were considering.
Yeah. I like that.
Maybe one day we'll still do that. But I think right now it would be a lot of work, and I just feel like it's a risk.
I agree.
We would lose so much like SEO juice. We don't really know what we're doing when it comes to like. I don't want to lose the momentum that we already have, basically.
No. And I like that option, and my natural reaction is let's do that. But actually, I agree that it's too early, too much work, too much effort right now. And also, I think there's quite a nice story in getting to really significant ARR on a plugin where, you haven't built it out as like this massive product. And actually, if you look at the other plugin that does what ours does, there's not much behind that either from a marketing website and
I mean, it's also part of like a broader
thing, but the guy who owns it doesn't even do it. Doesn't do any public stuff. He's a very kind of elusive guy, which is it actually makes it cooler in my view.
I know. I don't know. I wish we could do that.
Yeah, but I don't think we can now. I mean, he started 4 years ago, maybe, was it?
Yeah, exactly.
Now you need that founder brand, I think. But I like we don't need to do it. Like, I think it can be a bit of busy work. Like, oh, let's create a new brand, a new website, let's do this. And 6 months later, you've done that. But what you should be doing is getting it in front of potential customers. And if they like it enough, they're going to buy it, right? Because it's built into the Figma ecosystem. So, actually, we're better off trying to spend our effort and trying how to partner with Figma more, maybe, and how to get it in higher up when you search for email within the Figma kind of area, which I was doing a bit of research on, and just general kind of marketing that we're doing, growth that we're doing. So whether we spin it out as a separate brand in the future, I mean, it feels like we probably will, but we don't know, and we might not actually, because it might just carry on as it is.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get it to $1 million ARR, then I'd be happy just to leave it.
Yeah, it'd be great
as is. Yeah, I mean, it depends on email stack. If email stack has like a different email builder at some point, then maybe it has its own Figma. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to know what we'll do.
Right, we'll figure out that when we get to it. I mean, I think the plan is to buy might bring a template builder in that is kind of more in the drag and drop than the kind of build in Figma, obviously, because we've already got that. So how that all fits together, we'll figure out when we get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so far, I mean, so far, all the feedback's been positive.
Yeah.
Our website metrics are obviously doing really well, even better than they were before, because it's now, I think just the social posts and Reddit posts have driven a lot of people to the site. Our Plausible, who we use for analytics, actually had an outage last night, so we actually missed a bunch of data. So
Did they?
Yeah. It did better. It did better than it actually shows in the analytics.
I think just to kind of talk about what we could do better in the future. Do you think that we didn't ask enough email marketers whether they wanted this?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I feel like I know what people want because I do email marketing myself, but
I think that's
a trap.
That's a trap. Exactly. That's dangerous, I think, actually, because I'm the same. I'm like, we've been in email for years.
Yeah, exactly.
What people want, but we obviously didn't, or if we did, we didn't get it right.
They do want it. They just don't want to pay for it.
Right.
And actually, there's like a bunch of tools out there that do the same thing and they're paid for. And I just can't imagine they making much revenue from it either.
No, I don't know. But I think in the future, if we've got kind of this idea or someone comes to us with an idea, we should create a test version first.
Which I think should validate first before we go
which
in.
I think is quite a good message, actually, generally to anyone that's kind of listening, who's watching, who's wants to kind of start something. Is kind of validate it as much as you can. And it's so easy to validate now as well, because you can use a no code tool or a vibe coding tool just to kind of create a version and get people to sign up, even if it doesn't exist.
The thing with but the thing with validating is this is not a completely unique tool. Like, it already exists. There's like 6 or 7 other websites out there that do the same thing, and so you kind of assume it's validated based on it not being. I think validation becomes more important when it's like a completely unique new thing that no one has ever done before. But if there's like loads of competitors out there, like MailChart's got acquired by Validity, a big company, you would assume if you built something similar, you would make revenue from it, wouldn't you?
I think so. I think that's
kind of our thinking.
I think you would assume it, yeah. But
I mean, that's not true, but
but I think maybe that's maybe a false assumption, because a couple of things I think about is kind of how well is MailChart actually doing, using them as an example again. Sorry, we're picking on them. How well is that actually doing? Yes, they did buy it, but they bought it 4 years ago, maybe. What's changed?
Yeah, the market's different. It's AI. There's
exactly. And also, if you're going to build something that's already out there, what makes you different? And how can you make the message different that they're going to select you over what is already out there? And I think that's really important for us to think about generally, and anyone that's building to think about generally, because we think we can build any email marketing tool and go, well, we can beat the other one. But actually, if you're just building exactly the same thing, then why bother changing? It's the same. Any way you can
it's cheaper.
And while that has its place in some cases, actually, I think you need more than just price. I think you need maybe price plus brand plus something
a differentiator.
Yeah. So I think that's important, actually. Although loads of people say, yeah, don't invent something new, build what's already out there. It's like, yes, but you do need to differentiate in some way.
Yeah, there's loads of like startup videos where they're like, I just copied giant competitor and now I make $1 million a year. There's loads of those.
Yeah, I just don't think it's as easy as that, actually. I think they probably did have something unique. They maybe copied it, but they had something unique in it as well, right?
Yeah, like I'm trying to, so we're building some AI features for the Figma plugin, and I showed one of them. I showed the Asana integration to on a demo yesterday to a marketer who uses Figma and Asana, and I was like, would you? I showed him how it works and how it works with the plugin, and I was like, would you use this? And he was like, no. He was like, okay,
Why not?
maybe we shouldn't be building this thing because he didn't see the maybe it's because it's not like a real, like it was just like a Figma like workflow where I'm like showing him how it works. Maybe it'll be more impressive, or if it was like actually built, or maybe he's not the target customer. I think he just didn't see it as like a huge time saver because he can just copy the text from,
so it wasn't a
his
massive
brief
problem
into
for him. Yeah.
Who I think it could be really interesting for, though, is agencies. And I have spoken to some agencies about it, and they say in theory that they would use it if it worked because it'd be a huge time saver. So maybe that's how we get into agencies.
Yeah. But the concept of what it's doing is, in terms of taking a brief and populating the template based on that brief, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not sure why you wouldn't do that, but
Right.
but
we're
yeah,
assuming,
I think we can
it,
assume that. I mean, we know people. Not everyone's going to use this feature.
Right. No.
And actually, maybe even like some of our largest customers probably won't use it because they have, I don't know, maybe they see it as a threat to their job. Like, why am I getting AI to do this? That could be part of it. But I think there is definitely a segment of the market that would use it.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure about pricing because obviously we want to charge a premium price for it. And so this is like a total tangent on like what we talk about. But this was basically going back to, validating ideas is
We need to validate. Yeah.
quite tricky as well because people will tell you something, but how do you know that it's like survey data. It's like people say one thing and do another thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it even gets more complicated than that because they can say, oh, this is great, but when you put a price in the way, they don't want to pay anyway. Right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, we want to charge you, $99 a month for it, and it's like, well, that's way too much. I'm not going to pay that. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we should do some validation on that more.
I'll take the $35 per month version.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
good exercise, good learning for sure to kind of remember that validation is important. It's really hard to remember it all the time, especially when you work in when you're doing something in a sector you've been in for such a long time. Because you just make that assumption. Like I do it all the time. Also, you just have slight overconfidence that you can just do it. Oh yeah, we'll just build that. Oh, yeah, they'll love it. It's just not that easy ever.
Yeah, I mean, the hard thing for us is neither of us are technical developers or engineers. We have to hire and pay people to build our products for us. So I think it would be a bit easier if one of us was a developer to just like spin something up and test it. But we have to burn some money to do that.
Yeah. Indeed, and we burnt some money on Pro, that's for sure. But we can get it back.
Yeah, I think over long term, I think we'll see it as only a positive thing.
I think so. Yeah.
Cool. Anything else on that, or should we wrap up?
I don't think so. I think we'll do a follow up maybe in a couple of months just to see what kind of level of regret there might be and see where we are.
Well, now we can really just focus on growing the Figma plugin. So I think that's actually also another really big benefit is laser focused on enterprise Figma customers and just going after those
exactly
in 2026. So I think, that's how we're going to grow our revenue and pay ourselves and, kind of survive rather than trying to, beg people to pay for Email Love Pro.
exactly
Slowly grow that. So that's kind of, that's kind of what we're doing. So yeah, we'll definitely do an update and let you know how that's going for us. Great. Well, let's wrap it up. I think, just to wrap things up, I think obviously we need to validate better. We need to, we just need to think about what we're building a little bit more carefully. But overall, I think Email Love Pro was a good lesson for us at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is, and it's still a great tool. Go and check it out, create an account, and use it. That's what I say to everybody. It's if you're in email, it's now you've got this free information. I think it's awesome.
Everyone, go and create an account.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right,
See you later. Bye.
Bye.